Hello, this is Nate. After studying the activities of the cluster B personalities, there's one thing that stands out to me as their calling card. What is a calling card? Well, it's synonymous with all of them. It's their introduction. The introduction usually has to do with who you acknowledge them to be. The saying goes, first impression is the best impression. So the cluster B's first impression is always the same. They will give an exaggerated image of themselves over to you. Now, the value of that to them, of course, is that you see so much potential in them, which is false, but it appeared to be so fascinating until, and overwhelming, of course, until they before you know it, they're a part of your life. And I've noticed this time and again because being in contact with several cluster B personalities, uh, they're all on the spectrum, so you can call them what you want. You can call them the narcissist. You can call them the antisocial psychopath. You can call them the histrionic, borderline. Of course, these are the cluster B personality types, but they all come on with their a calling card basically the same. That they are special, and you will gain by having a relationship with them. But now, most of us who recognize the cluster B personality uh, realize that this facade that they put on initially does not last. In fact, uh, not very long after that comes the devaluing stage because, again, they can't put on the show for any long periods of time. And now the devaluing stage, it has an element of paranoia associated with it. Because again, if this person cannot maintain this glorious image of themselves for any extended period of time, they're going to become self-conscious of just uh, how this type of image that they've put on cannot hold up. And so they're forever at that point on looking over their shoulder, so to speak. And this looking over their shoulder is to keep their eyes on you, whether or not you see the mask that they put on initially slipping off. And so as we develop more and more understanding of this dilemma, this phenomenon that's going on in the cluster B personality, what we want to do is learn the techniques on how to um, protect ourselves from being taken in by this calling card of the cluster B personality, and how not to become a victim of it time and time again. Because again, regardless to which of the cluster B personalities that are you may come into contact with, they all present the same calling card. Some people call it love bombing, and it is a form of love bombing because again, it's an initial explosion, and then after that, you can see that the it, the intentions are actually not um, genuine, and they cannot be carried on for no long period of time with consistency. So be aware that the calling card of the cluster B is all the same. Now, again, we don't want to be paranoid, but you can be cautious. Um, there's there's many accounts and many examples of individuals who have been flamboyantly addressed initially, and some have recognized or been able to identify these tactics and been able to avoid them. But then there are so many more who have taken this genuine, just like myself, I am a survivor, and not understanding that there are people who calculatively work on persons with good motive and good intentions, and just literally destroy them. And so when we run across someone who is unnaturally attaching themselves to us, we want to be cautious about them. And as a result, we can protect ourselves from the harm that these type of individuals will inflict on us. They're very observative of how you respond to them, and they will quickly turn on the charm if they feel that there's if they're slipping a little bit. So we also want to be aware of that. And recognize that they've victimized many individuals before they've gotten to us, so they'll never show any remorse of any type in front of anyone. All they will do is either turn up the charm or walk away. But again, the calling card is something that we want to try to be aware of, and also teach others that there are these type of individuals who try to prey on persons who have an empathetic spirit about them. Again, they pay attention to your demeanor, and they'll pick you out, and they will, lay on the charm, and of course, at little or no time, you'll be looking for that charm again and again, and it doesn't come back at the same rate. So it is not something that we want to take lightly. There's a literal epidemic of individuals who try to take advantage of persons with good hearts and good intentions. Okay, so that's going to do it for this video, and hopefully we'll have another one coming out very soon. Thanks. Bye.